Hello, beautiful! In today's video, I'm going to share a couple of quick, simple ways to elevate your gift wrapping from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Let's get started. We're going to be using a wax seal set that I found on Amazon, and I will link as much as possible in the description box down below. I was so excited to get this set because I've always admired the look of wax seals, and I've always thought that they just elevate anything that you put them on. So I turned to Amazon and I found this particular set, which comes with 8 Christmas themed stamps, but there are a variety of stamps on Amazon. You can choose so many different things, and I have already ordered more because I am obsessed. I am obsessed with how beautiful these turn out. I also ordered a couple of different types of wax, including the wax beads and the wax sticks. And I got a couple of different colors, but I regret not getting more colors in my first order. But I do have more colors on the way. The other thing that I recently ordered were these beautiful gold leaf sheets, which I actually had on hand for another project. I'm also going to be incorporating some dried baby's breath and some feather grass that I already had on hand. The wax beads are designed to be used with the melting spoon. However, I wasn't crazy about the color of the gold wax beads. The wax sticks are designed to be used in a glue gun, but I broke my glue gun the day that I recorded this, so I decided to chop up the gray wax stick and use that in the melting spoon. And you can see here that the wax melted with no problem, holding the spoon a couple of inches away from the flame. And this is what the wax looks like as it's melting. I filmed this in real time and I sped it up for you guys to see now. On this try, I wanted to see what it would be like if I embedded the baby's breath into the wax, because I've been seeing a lot of that on Pinterest and it is really beautiful. And I also sprinkled a few tiny pieces of the gold leaf into the wax before I pressed it. And I want to point out that even though I'm using the word press, I'm actually not applying any pressure to the stamp. I am just sort of placing it gently into the wax and just leaving it to set. After a couple of minutes, when I was sure that the wax was cooled, I just removed the stamp from the wax, and as you can see, the impression turned out really clean and very pretty. Even though the wax turned out really pretty, it was a little busy for me with the baby's breath and the stamp and the gold leaf. I had ordered a blank stamp, but it hasn't arrived yet, so I decided to improvise, and what I came up with was using the top of the wax beads. And I have to say, I love a good MacGyver moment that turns out well. And if you don't know who MacGyver is, it was a television show in the 80s, one of the best shows on in the 80s. Look it up. Right here, I'm showing you how I poured the wax onto parchment paper and sprinkled a little bit of the gold leaf into it before I stamped it with the top of the wax jar. I preferred the look of the seal without the plant material embedded in it, so I just created the wax seal separately, and I'll bring it all together at the end. I decided to go with the gray and gold seals just because I like for the gift wrapping to match the decor, and that goes a little bit better with my decor. I'm using jute twine from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just taping it down on the back of the box, and I'm taping it down pretty firmly because I do not want that to come loose. And I'm just gonna twist it around the box a few times to create a somewhat organic sort of pattern and feeling for the gift wrapping. When I was satisfied with how it looked, I just cut off the extra jute and taped it down. You want to make sure that your jute is pulled very taut and that you tape it down very well because you don't want your jute to come off. From there, you just want to fine tune and adjust your twine and put everything where you want it before we hot glue the wax seal down. I decided to go with the feathergrass instead of the baby's breath for this because I loved the way the colors complemented the twine and also the way that it popped off of the white wrapping paper. I used a low temperature glue gun because I didn't want to melt the wax seal. So as you can see here, I just kind of glued on the feathergrass and added a little bit more glue for the seal. And I don't know about you, but this is the kind of thing that makes me squeal with delight. I love really pretty, unique things like this. And it is so exciting when something turns out the way that you pictured it in your mind. That is a feeling that is hard to beat. The next present was wrapped in brown craft paper, and I wanted these to be similar but not exactly the same. So I did make a few changes in how I wrapped these two presents. This time, instead of using tape, I just use a spot of hot glue in order to hold the twine where I wanted it to stay on the back of the present. And I cut off the excess twine. At this point, I was losing light very fast, so I'm sorry if it starts to get a little dark here, but I think you can still see how everything turned out. I used some grasses here that I had picked up for my fall decor, and I just cut off a few pieces and glued those on. And once again, with the low heat hot glue, and then I placed on the wax seal. After I saw this, I felt like it was still missing something, so I went back and added a little bit of the feathergrass to this. These turned out so beautifully, and I am so excited to be sharing this with you guys, and I hope that you are inspired to do something like this for your friends and family, because I guarantee you they would love to receive a gift packaged like this. It is so beautiful and so thoughtful, and just that extra special touch that makes people feel so cared for. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time.